All right, we have run out of time. It is, according to my Braille watch, see, not everything I have talks, 6 minutes to the hour. So we didn't do too bad in keeping to time. What I'd like to do now is open it up for question and answers. But I want to do that with one understanding. One understanding. And that is, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, nobody knows everything there is to know about phones. Last night I was, like I say, up till 1, went to sleep, woke up at 4, been up since 4 reading, and I'm still learning what happened in the past 48 hours in the world of cell phones. Your best person to talk to are your friends and neighbors. See what they use. See how it works for them. And there are people in this room who are going to know more about some of these phones than I do, because I am trying to juggle 6 phones. Not one, so I don't know one really well. I know 6 fairly well. A man of all trades and master of none. So, questions and answers. Anybody? A track phone. I promised I'd mention that. Does anybody know what a track phone is? How would you define it?
The one terrorists use.
It's the one terrorists use. On September 11th, which I thought was very kind of Jonathan to pick this date for my seminar, the fact of the matter is a track phone is a phone where you pay to play. You buy a phone and you can add minutes to that phone. And instead of having a monthly bill to deal with, you just get billed in advance for the minutes you use. Not a bad thing. I do not know of a single accessible track phone. Mind you, you can still make a phone call on it. My phone for all these many years didn't talk, squawk, vibrate, jiggle, or any of those things. And I still ended up being able to use them. So I wouldn't not use one in fear that I couldn't handle it. You can walk into a place like Radio Shack, buy one, use it. What you're not going to know is how many minutes do I have left. That kind of date on it. How is the battery life on it? Those kinds of things. That information, there is no means of making it talk. I use voice commands all the time. In fact, if you stop to think about it, trying to dial a phone number on an iPhone, no thank you. So, I'm going to make a call. Assuming this is on. No, my iPhone, wait a minute. My iPhone just did funny things. What'd you ask? One moment, let me do this. Call Kim Charlson, mobile.
Calling Kim Charlson, mobile.
My iPhone's ringing, her phone isn't, and she's got a Haven.
Like 12.
I hung up on you, I think. Anyway, the long and the short of it, it does do voice commands, and not all the voice commands are for making phone calls. On this one, by the way, I could hold that button down, that's the home button, wait till it jiggles and beeps, and say dial, and say the number, and it will dial it. It'll do any number off of my, yes. Thank you. It'll do any number off of my contact list. And it will also, by voice, dial out to anything in my call history I'd like it to. I can also tell it to play ABBA. And it will take things out of my iTunes collection here and play them back to me. Quite honestly, I was so impressed the other day with the nuance voice, I think it's nuance, that is in the Haven phone right now. If you've had a phone for 2 years, trust me, speech recognition's come a long way. However, what I've noticed is to get that high accuracy, there's a delay. When you say to the Haven, check battery, 2 rows of knitting, and then it will tell you. Okay? It is a noticeable delay when doing voice commands on it. But it never got the voice command wrong. I can't tell you the number of times on my other phones where I say check battery and it says calling your mother or something. I don't see how the words sounded anything alike. It's a conspiracy. No. On the iPhone, the GPS does not talk in a way that's effective for me. I will tell you, however, that when I spoke with the people at, what are they called now? Say again? Yeah, that's the name of a website, right? Senior Moment, right? No. When I talk to the people who do the Trekker and GPS and the like, not HumanWare, the Sendero, thank you, Sendero, they have an app for the iPhone that you can say, where am I? And it will tell you where you are. They say there's an intrinsic problem with iPhone-based, not just iPhone, but using a phone as a GPS product. You remember when I talked about Wayfinder. The maps are not in the phone. The phone has insufficient memory to hold it. And so it has to take your GPS coordinates, match it against a database online, and then send you back the information. And you may be able to say, where am I with that in an effective way? But walking down the street and being told you're 5 feet from what you're wanting to be at in time that you haven't taken the next 2 steps and run into it is going to take a little while before they get there. But let me tell you, 3GS is a lot better than its predecessor. It's faster, it's more reactive, the data flow is better, and data plans are going to kill us if they don't change the business model for this kind of stuff. Because transferring that map information to and from, bleep, another data point, bleep, another data point, and you buy them in blocks of data points. So you got to be careful when you buy into some of these things where it's GPS based. Now I'm told by Jonathan we are done. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. You know where to call for the Carroll Center. Somebody's phone's ringing. And I want to let you know that this is just an example of the kinds of things that you will find on the Carroll Tech website. That's Carroll Tech, CarrollTech.org website, starting, we hope, by the end of this coming week, where there'll be an online course in picking an accessible mobile phone, and it will have a growing number of phones over time, and individual lessons on how to use one of them once you've got it. Thank you all again, one and all.
First of all, if anybody wants, obviously there's refreshments in the back, coffee, cookies, stuff like that. I want to thank everybody for being here. Maria Thompson, your ride is here. We were going to tell you at 4 o'clock, but we didn't listen. Because we all know how the ride is. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Brian, especially for putting this together. It's a huge amount to put this together, especially with all of the stuff involved, and for the assistance he got also from everyone from the Carroll Center. I want to thank the Alumni Committee for working with me to put this together, and the volunteers.
Yes, the volunteers are from the Charlson Commission on Disability and the Lions Club. Thank you.
I am going to be sending out an email survey, a very short one, to everyone in the next couple of days as an attachment. It's only about 7 questions. If you could take a few minutes and answer it, it will let us know what we can change on this in the future, what we can improve, what was good, and directions you'd like to see us go for other workshops. So thank you all for being here. Brian is probably still around if you have questions and you want to talk, or if you want to talk to each other. On the side, as you go out the door in a few minutes, if you'd like, to the left of the door on the table, or I can ask one of the volunteers now to walk around the tables actually, if one of the volunteers would do that for me. We have handouts. We have print handouts and we have braille handouts on what the Brian discussed today and the phones he discussed. So,
Again, it's all contact
okay,
information
it's
for the latest
contact information.
information.
So if one of the volunteers would take that and try to go around to everyone, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.